So let's get started. Um, if you are there, please let me know you can hear because I ordered some new microphones and they are a bit wonky. So I'm going to go into my Facebook now and see if I see me and if I'm making any noise whatsoever. But right now I'm not seeing me. So if you're out there, if you can hear me, say hi. Anywho, tonight I really wanted to focus or start focusing on our end of the year. Now we are finally in December. And I say finally, but it feels like, are we in December already or what? Because it seems like um, this year just flew by. And I don't know where it all went to. So hang on a second. Let me see if I can hear myself now. I don't know. I can hear myself. I can hear myself. So I guess everybody's hearing me. Okay. So let's move on. So as the year winds down, it really is the perfect time for us to reflect, restore, and realign ourselves in order to get ready for the next year. Now, I don't know about you people, but this year has been really tough for many, many, many people. And if you're one of them, it may be time now to just realign yourself to your values, to your purpose, and to your mission that you're going to move forward in the new year. Okay, so number one here, there are going to be 5 things here that are going to help you get ready to move into next year. Number one, reflect on and celebrate your wins. No matter how bad 2024 was, we all have wins that we made in this year going by. Okay, we all had things that went well for us, even if it wasn't perfect. We're not really looking for perfect. We're just looking to really move ourselves forward and advance ahead, right? So think about all of the things that have gone right for you in this year. Take a moment to review the year. Celebrate your accomplishments, big and small. Honor whatever lessons you've learned in the year, right? Because as we have gone through 2024, we have really been able to learn a lot of things about ourselves and others, even if it wasn't always going the way that we wanted it to. Okay. So, even think about the challenges that you had and the things that you've overcome in the year. You have survived. You have made it through. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean we want to be in survival mode, but it does mean that we need to honor the fact that whatever has stepped in our path or in our way during the year, we have survived that and we continue to move forward. Okay. Now, journaling can be a great way to reflect um, on your past year. You might even want to sit down and say, go month by month and say, what happened to me in each part of the year that really helped me come through to the other side? What did I do that was really successful for me during each month? Okay. And so now we're going to have, for each one, we're going to have an affirmation. And for each of the 5, we're also going to have a practice that we can do. So here we go. Here's our affirmation for number 1, which is reflect on and celebrate your wins. Your affirmation is, I honor my journey and celebrate the growth I have experienced this year. Can you feel that kind of in your heart center? I honor my journey and celebrate the growth I have experienced this year. I think that's very important. Okay, so now our practice is to spend 10 minutes journaling about 3 moments that brought you joy or taught you an important lesson this year. Light a candle to symbolize gratitude for your experiences. And that's one of the things that I feel we always have to add and practice diligently is that practice of gratitude, of being grateful for what we have, because no matter what we have or even what dire straits we're in, it could always be worse. So be grateful for how things are going. Number two, set your energetic boundaries. The holiday season can be overwhelming. Give yourself permission to say no to activities or commitments that drain your energy. Okay? Protect your peace by carving out sacred time for yourself. Now, for busy women, this can be the hardest thing on earth to do, is to carve out that time for yourself. But it is actually the most important thing you can do for yourself, because you honor yourself by setting aside time. Okay. You honor all those, the ancestors, all the guides and guardians, all the goddesses that surround you, all the people who wish you well, all the energies that are around you. You honor them when you set time for yourself. And you also, and I think this can be important for mothers of young children, is that you show your children that each of us has value. Okay? That each of us needs to set aside time for ourselves. That it's not selfish to take care of yourself. That it is part of being an effective parent, partner, worker, goddess, um, entrepreneur, is to take time for yourself. Because if you don't, then you are, as they say, you're pouring from an empty cup. Sometimes we're not even pouring because there's nothing in the cup to pour out. We're serving air. Okay. And while air is important, when people need sustenance, we're not breatharians. We don't believe that we can survive just on air. Okay. We need sustenance. So if you're not sustaining yourself, then you cannot sustain anyone else. So we really need to dig deep into that well of self-care and self-love and find time to make for ourselves. Okay. So our affirmation for number 2, which is set your energetic boundaries. I honor my needs and create space for peace in my life. And that's one of the things you'll find when you set out time for yourself, is that you do find peace for yourself, which is very important. Okay. Um, so here's your practice for now. Practice saying no with love and grace. Not with rejection, not with resentment, like, no, I'm not doing that because I always did this and blah, 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 blah. No, with love and with grace. You can just say no. It's okay for you to just say no and to mean it, and still be honoring those who might ask you to do more than what is beyond your boundaries. You can still love them, just don't do it. Visualize a protective bubble of light around you before engaging in stressful situations, affirming that only positive energy can enter your space. And one of the things that is good about a lot of energetic practices is that they give you beautiful symbols that you can use in your everyday energetic practice. And what you can also do is, where you are creating sacred space for yourself to just relax for a moment and to be at peace, is you can put those symbols on the walls, on the floor, on the ceiling of the room where you're in, and make that a protected creative space for yourself. And that energetically, it will set a boundary that people are not to disturb you at that moment, that they'll let you be in your sacred space, and done with love, caring, and kindness. It is very, very effective. Okay, let's get into number 3. Number 3 is declutter and release. Clearing physical clutter creates space for new opportunities. Donate items you no longer need and cleanse your home energetically. Now, here's where I differ from what I have written here, or kind of what was written in what I've written in the past, but I'm reviving this. So now I want to just say, um, I do not use sage or Palo Santo in energetic clearing anymore. And that is because so many people have used these plants that they are now becoming extinct. So we do not want to have our Palo Santo and our sage go extinct. So I either use them very sparingly. I have some Palo Santo that I've had for a long time, and I just keep using that one piece, but I use it so sparingly that I've had it for a very long time. I don't use sage at all. One thing, I never really liked the scent of sage. It just doesn't, get to me. So, what I use instead is a mixture that I make myself. It's called Lady Smudge, um, that I use when I'm smudging. Or if you want something that's a little bit more, can be used a little bit more comprehensively, I have something else that I call Yoni Spumoni, which is which can be used three ways. One as that smudge or smoke. I like to call it smoking really instead of smudging, because when we talk about smudging, that's kind of a particular practice that is done by indigenous people here in the U.S. Um, it is really kind of their word, but what we really want to do is use either incense or smoke to clear energy. And it's really funny because just the other day I saw this video of someone in church swinging the censer, that big thing full of incense and smoke that they use in the church. Well, it's really a kid, and he's swinging it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and some other really little child goes running by and he whacks Now, the kid obviously was not hurt because she just kept going. But, it only goes to show that, sometimes we really need to be careful where we are swinging what we think is, or the ways that we are using items that we think are so sacred because they do mix with the everyday and the mundane, right? So, anywho, um, I really like to use different plants. It's not like the only plants that clear anything are sage or Palo Santo. You can use rose, you can use lavender, you can use cedar, you can use mugwort. In fact, my favorite thing to smoke with is mugwort because mugwort is really, really good for the womb, for creativity, for dreaming. That's all my stuff, right? So, what we really are looking forward to doing when we do that is to release the old and create space for the new. Okay? So our affirmation becomes, I release what no longer serves me and welcome new possibilities. I release what no longer serves me and open and welcome new possibilities. Yay! Okay. So now what you may want to do in a practice is to choose one area, a closet, a dresser, the dining room table. And me, it's a dining room table, which looks like a hot mess right now, right? As you, and think about it, which area are you going to declutter? Just get rid of the stuff that you don't need, right? And as you release items, either to putting them someplace else where they really belong, or to putting them in a pile of things that you're going to donate to charity, or whatever, right? Um, you really want to release these items and you can say to them, thank you for serving me. And then you can imagine space opening for fresh opportunities, for something new to come in. Because we know from science that no two things can occupy the same space at the same time. So if you have all this old energy, this old clutter, this old whatever hanging around, there is no possibility of something new coming in. So we want to avoid that by decluttering, cleaning, clearing. And then once you've done that, you want to do all this beautiful energetic clearing through smoke, through water. Any of the four elements can be used to clear energy. You can use water, you can use fire, you can use air, and you can use earth. Okay? Now, earth When people say, how are you going to declutter with earth? Isn't that dirt? Well, what's also part of the earth realm is the crystal queendom. So you can clear with earth energy if you are using crystals. Ta-da! All right. So now number 4 of what we're doing tonight is to revisit your vision. Okay. We all started out 2024 with a vision of what we wanted to accomplish this year. And for very many people, that did not happen, right? So what dreams or goals do you want to carry into the new year that maybe you didn't get to in 2024? I mean, we're not perfect. Even if everything was going right for you in 2024, you might not have gotten to some things that really matter to you. So start thinking about those dreams and goals to carry into 2025. Create a vision board. And I don't really like vision board. I say vision board because everybody knows vision board, but I really, I don't even say mood board because to me, a mood board, I'm not even sure what the heck that is. But what I like to create is a desire board. What do you want to feel like during the year? And what's going to make you feel like that? Right? Because a lot of times when we attach ourselves to certain visions of what we want to create, um, we limit ourselves to that vision only. But when we think about how we want to feel, right? How do you want to feel when you say open that healing center that you wanted to open? Or how do you feel when you get to publish that book you wanted to put out? Or how do you feel when you have 5 new clients and you're really able to help all of them? How do you want to feel? And then do whatever it takes to bring that feeling into your life in the next year. Okay? So our affirmation becomes, I align my actions and the life I desire to create. Right? So that's what our vision into the next year is all about. Aligning our actions to what we desire. Okay? So if you want new clients, what do you have to do to get them? If you want to make 6 figures next year, how many people do you need to see and what do you need to charge? Right? In order to get that. Okay? What do you need to do to create what you want in the new year? So here's our practice. Create a mini board, either a vision board, a mood board, whatever it is that you feel you need to create for the new year. Use images or words that inspire you. Meditate with your board, imagining yourself living your dreams and feeling the emotions tied to your achievements. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. Whew, it's making me misty. All right. And finally, we have number 5, which is nourish your body and soul. Let's take a moment to just relax into this last one. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Wind down by prioritizing rest, nourishing foods, and engaging in practices that rejuvenate you. Okay? Whew. Whether it's a warm bath, a favorite book, and by the way, here's the book I'm reading right now. Let me show it to you. I just started, I think I'm on page 4. This is a book about the ancient oracles, the Sibyls, the first prophetess of Mamiwata, and the theft of African prophecy by the Catholic Church. And let me tell you something, hunters. It is, even on page 4, I was like, oh, and that's why and that's what and that's what they, a lot of revelations in 4 pages, let me tell you. All right, let me stick you over there. And find something to read that speaks to you and what you are trying to bring in for yourself in the new year. Okay? Here's our affirmation. I deserve rest, nourishment, and time to replenish my energy. And here's our practice. Set aside 20 minutes for a self-care ritual, such as a relaxing bath infused with essential oils. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and I recommend things like if you love pretty smells, put in some ylang ylang. If you love just relaxation, put in some lavender, right? If you want to lift your mood, put in some geranium or some orange, depending on, it all depends on what you want. Okay. Repeat your affirmation as you breathe deeply and reconnect with yourself. So as you are relaxing, I deserve rest, nourishment, and time to replenish my energy. Remember, this is your season to reset and realign. That's what we do at the end of the year. That's what winter energy is all about, right? Remember, the magic of the new year begins with the choices you make now. Take this time to honor yourself. You deserve it. And as we finish up here, when we're talking about bringing in stuff for the new year, I want you to also recognize that the new year that we celebrate in January is a false new year. Our new year always used to begin in March with this with the spring equinox, the vernal equinox, because this is the time of year when everything starts to uh, come back out and revitalize and renew and restore. And this is why Jessica Fons and I are having a beautiful retreat up at Teal House in April. And I would love to invite you to that. I'm going to put a link to the information for that in um, in the comments so that you can check it out, because that's what this retreat is all about. Coming out again after the winter, feeling revitalized, restored, recharged, and ready to go. Because after winter, where we're all kind of in hibernation and we are just hiding ourselves away, it's a time to do a lot of dreaming for the future. And it's time to come back out and make a beautiful, beautiful year starting from what is a natural new year, the spring, and ending up with the winter again next year. So I hope these 5 practices have really given you something to think about as you get started on your journey into winter, into the new year, and beyond. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.